Our humble obeisance to the one we revere, our deep obeisance to the one we revere. We watch the divine procession through our eyelids. We saw that the fourth chapter, named Ṣaḍ Jīvanikā in Śrī Daśvaikālik Sūtra, prescribes the sequence of first proper knowledge and then kindness for a seeker. Here, kindness relates to the Driṣti of Ahiṁsā, meaning non-violence. Ahiṁsā is at the root of Chāritra Dharma, the code of conduct of a seeker. The whole Chāritra Dharma stands on Ahiṁsā as its base. Ahiṁsā is not constrained just to external practices, but it is quite a broad Driṣti. If our level of knowledge is limited, then our Driṣti of Ahiṁsā will be equally narrow. A seeker is steadfastly in the pursuit of broadening their knowledge and Driṣti. Here, what is meant by proper knowledge? The same chapter provides a lead in verse 35, which states, "How can the one who neither knows what Jīv, that is living being, is, nor what Ajīv, that is non-living being, is, understand Saṁyam?" Here we can consider Saṁyam to mean Chāritra Dharma, the code of conduct of a seeker. This verse indicates that Jīv and Ajīv are two separate entities one must know. However, what are these entities part of? What is it that constitutes both Jīv and Ajīv? Such an all-encompassing entity is called Sat. Sat means that which has existence. The whole world around us is indicative of the Satness of Sat. Sat means nature. Sat is Abhed, that is identity in differences, Akhand, that is the whole in parts, Advait, that is the one in duality. Sat is Shashvat, that is permanent. It does not appear that nature is a created entity. Therefore, nature or Sat is also called Apaurusheya, meaning no creator has created it. Nature exists eternally. Every such substance has 6 Samanya, meaning general or common attributes. For example, everything has the general attributes of Astitva, meaning existence. Everything that is Sat. Being means Sat. The other 5 general attributes, just for the sake of mentioning them, are Vastutva, Dravyatva, Pradeshatva, Prameyatva, and Agurulagutva. To keep it simple for now, we will consider Sat only in terms of Astitva or existence. Sat is such a vast topic that it would be quite difficult for us to grasp it comprehensively. To solve a bigger problem, typically we decompose it into smaller ones, just as a large epic is divided into several volumes. If we were to divide a bigger problem into smaller ones, how would we go about it? We consider Vishesh or special attributes for this purpose. Each smaller part has one or more special attributes that no other smaller part has. In case some smaller parts have overlapping attributes, they are combined and further subdivided into subparts based on special attributes of subparts, just like the volumes of a large epic may be further subdivided into chapters. One must keep in mind that all these divisions and subdivisions are within the one whole who they are part of. All of them have the general attributes like Astitva, existence, and so on. Akhand, the whole in parts, can also be viewed as Abhed, identity in differences, or Advait, the one in duality. Khand, parts of the whole, can also be viewed as Bhed, variety in identity, or Dvait, duality in the one. Sat or nature is this Abhed, Advait, and Akhand, in which the whole existence is encompassed. The Jīv and Ajīv distinctions are made to understand Sat comprehensively. These distinctions are made by means of their special attributes. Let us think about the special attributes of Jīv that could distinguish it from Ajīv. We see a variety of living beings in nature in our surroundings. All of them have the 6 general attributes such as astitva, existence, and so on. Which special attributes are apparent to us among living beings? Verse 10 of the 6th chapter of Śrī Daśvaikālik Sūtra states the following. All Jīv desire living, not dying. Therefore, a nirgrantha sadhu, that is an austere ascetic, considers any act of taking away pran, meaning life force, of any living being as a ghastly act and avoids it. Thus, sustaining life and propagating lineage could be construed as special attributes of Jīv. In most living beings, we see such behavior. However, we also see that for the wise, it is liberation from the cycle of birth and death that is more important. We can also then take a somewhat different perspective of the meaning of this verse. The living beings that live according to Ichha, meaning desire, are the ones who desire to sustain life. They most likely are afraid of death. But the wise do not live as per their desires. They are fully engrossed in bhav, meaning the being. They understand the nature of death and accept it without fear. As our driṣti about Ichha, meaning desire, and bhav, meaning the being, broadens, it will occur to us that the journey of birth, death, and rebirth of Jīv is for the purpose of obtaining knowledge. The life in which Jīv attains Keval Jnān, that is absolute knowledge, becomes its last life. Subsequently, such Jīv reaches Nirvana and is not reborn. Therefore, it is more appropriate to treat Jnāta Drashta, that is continuous engagement in seeing and knowing, as a special attribute of Jīv. Sustaining life and propagating lineage are merely the necessities to obtain knowledge in each life during the journey of birth, death, and rebirth until Keval Jnān is attained. This special attribute of Jīv is not in Ajīv. Thus, Sat is divided into 2 parts, namely Jīv with Jnāta Drashta special attribute and Ajīv without this special attribute. In a future video, we will introduce the special attributes of Ajīv. Here, we have some profound threshold concepts. All the parts are within some whole. Without the whole, no parts can be pondered over in isolation. Jīv and Ajīv are both offspring of Sat. Both are contained in the wholesome Sat. Both parts possess the 6 general attributes. Any contempt of Ajīv also amounts to contempt of Sat. If we adopt an attitude of considering the underlying general common attributes whenever there is a conflict among parts based on special attributes, then a lot of associated stress simply goes away. With humble submission to the divine nature God.